Hey everyone, thank you so much for being with us on our Saturday session. Means a lot that you were joining today. And so I'm going to start with our session and then Dad will guide us through meditation. So I'm just going to bring a topic. We'll talk about that, and then we will get into the meditation. So, today's topic is something that I was thinking about, which is that satsang is such a special system because it reminds us to be constantly in connection with the divine and, with that higher energy. And so, when you practice satsang, you're solidifying that connection, not only, through these group sessions, but in your, practical daily life. So if you follow that full prescription, which is to meditate in the morning, you meditate at night, you do a couple group sessions at least, a couple times in a year. We're obviously doing it more than that. But if you can do that, you'll be set to be connected with that divine source at least daily, if not more. So when you take it up a notch from there, you can start to practice chintan, which is remembering that light, remembering the guru at any moment in the day, whether you're eating, you're at the gym, you're taking a walk outside, you start to bring that energy even more into your life. So you'll be, doing our regular duties, which we're supposed to, which is to have the family and to have the job and everything, but you'll never forget your connection to that source. And what this does is it creates a solid intention throughout the day that while we're doing our duty, which is to live a normal life, we never forget the end goal, which is to become one with the divine and with our highest self. So on a practical level, what this does for us is it keeps us in connection with the divine no matter what our life circumstances. When things are going great and your life is full of blessings, you will never forget the source that is connecting you with those blessings. And when things aren't going so great, you double down and you remember that these external circumstances will never get in the way of your spiritual connectedness. If anything, it can strengthen that connectedness. So sometimes when we have the blessings, we forget that it's not us that's doing anything, and we have to remove the ego out of our day to day activities eventually. So, what plays out in our daily lives is a set of karmic events and fated events, and no one can really get in the way of your blessings or your lessons. But what can happen sometimes is that the ego can start to go on a power trip, and we forget that very connection to the source that brings us those blessings when we're asking for them. So, instead of doubling down on our faith in the good times, we forget that connection. And then those very blessings start to get taken away. So you can remember again that it's never you that did that thing, it was the connection from that source. So it's the divine guidance and blessings in your life that leads you through the good and it holds you through the bad. And our only job is to remove the I, that I did this, or I'm doing this, or, this happened because of me, because I'm so smart or so beautiful or whatever it is. It's all a blessing when you come to satsang, right? So, and that's what satsang does for us on a spiritual level. It kind of helps remove the ego from everything. And then on the practical level, when we realize that it's not me that's doing anything, everything's coming from that one source and everything can be reconnected to that place when we just choose to constantly remember, constantly be connected. And our one and only goal is to become one with this higher energy and this divine source. And that's what the whole system of satsang is helping us to do. Live your life, but also be completely connected at all times. And hopefully through that process, we're getting closer and closer to reaching enlightenment. So that's just my food for thought for the day. If you want to chime in, Dad, and then we can get into the meditation.
So there are so many thoughts that are going on. This topic is really very near and dear to what I do all day long. You basically understanding that we can establish a background thread, um, and a lot of people say that if I am remembering or if I am connected or I'm trying to connect during the day, what happens to my work, and the current example is my iPhone. You know, it just in the background stays connected, updates the data, And if my notifications are not on, it doesn't bother me. But when I get onto, you know, my mail or whatever else, it's all updated. So there is this, even, my IT background somehow seeps in anyway. So there is this concept of background thread where uh, in the front, things are happening, but in the background, there could be other things happening. And we are a very, very, very powerful machine. And more we connect to the power that drives us, the more power um, and again, I think going back to the ego, power doesn't necessarily mean that we ought to fuel our ego. Power means that we stay, it could also mean that we stay grounded, but with pride, with strength. So inner strength, inner happiness, um, inner peace, all these depend on how abundant we feel. Abundant of what? So light, love, and peace. So, uh, so first is this light that we want to connect to. Um, and which is where the meditation comes in. But then staying connected to the source of this transcendental energy brings light, love, and peace in abundance, which then leads to abundance of inner strength, uh, inner happiness, inner peace, which uh, basically, you know, um, permeates uh, everything we do. And that's when, the transformation that we talk about actually, happens. Um, so on that note, let's first practice. And Parul also talked about Chintan, which is, basically this background connection that stays on. So first, meditate and experience the heavy dose, and then, slowly build upon this background thread, which my grandfather's guru, Lalaji Maharaj, he used to say that, uh, uh, in India, there is this um, beetle leaf pond, which is, you know, um, uh, there are people who are habitual of eating that, but think of chewing gum, right? So you're chewing gum, but you're doing everything else. So think of, you know, so he used to give that example that uh, just because you're chewing gum doesn't mean that you're not, signing papers, working on other things. So you can stay connected, um, and staying connected is for one purpose, uh, primarily that as we interact with people, as we deal with situations, um, is our energy level, depleting? If the background thread is there, the energy level stays, replenished. And if that happens, then we could have an even level of positive energy within us, this transcendental energy, which drives us in a more positive way, even if things that we're surrounded with or interacting with go negative. But at the core of it is this meditation. So let's close our eyes and think of first let's settle our body, because every time the body moves, mind moves with it. We want to reduce the distractions so we can focus, we can concentrate on one thought, and because from barrage of thoughts, bring it to one thought and then drop that as well. So that's the process. So eyes lightly closed, so the sensory input that's distracting our mind is reduced, um, and then observe the body, still relaxed posture, is very important. So eyes lightly closed, still and relaxed posture. And now think of this transcendental energy right here, right now. And, you know, the source of that energy is not far away, it's right in front of you. And this energy is entering our heart in form of light. And this light is then traversing throughout the body, and we are getting completely and totally immersed in this light. So if mind wanders away, which it will, as soon as you realize that mind has wandered away, bring it back to this thought and this thought alone, that this transcendental energy in form of light is entering our heart, illuminating our heart, and then distributing throughout the body, and we are becoming the light. So we'll start with music that helps concentration, and then music fades away, and we go into deep silent meditation on this transcendental light. Then we fade, then we transition out with music again. So let's start.
Well, thank you everyone for coming on our Saturday session. So if you guys would like to hop on and say hi, we'll all be here.
And I wanted to say hi to Tiara, or welcome Tiara to the group. Um,
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
How was it, the first session?
It was great. I
Okay,
feel
perfect.
amazing.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for joining. It's great to have you.
Happy Saturday, everyone.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. It was a great meditation as always. I really liked what your discussion earlier about always sort of maintaining a connection to the source. At the end of the day, that is the only constant in this world of constant change. This last week was really like a dark week. I don't want to be like negative, but it was a dark week at work because without going into a lot of detail, because actually some of this has been on the news, one of our top attorneys, and he was a good man. He really cared about our office. He fought to get us to keep us. Actually, we're government. He fought for us, but he was an attorney with a conscience, and he also respected the duty of candor and told a judge the truth. And he got fired. He was an attorney that was with our office for maybe 15 years, 20 years. And our office will suffer a deficit without him because he's quite knowledgeable. Everything that ever got filed in high profile or extremely important cases went through him. And he had an encyclopedic knowledge of the law. He did what he was supposed to do, which is to have duty of candor to the court. Needless to say, we were very disturbed and troubled and sad. I have to believe that there's a reason for everything. And perhaps what he did was for the greater good. I don't know. But maintaining a constant connection to the source will help get through those kinds of like dark times, where you're feeling sad on multiple levels. But the connection to the source always helps to uplift you and to let you know, like, you are protected, and whatever happens for a reason, I think.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. I think, yeah, we're in weird times right now. So I think it's even more important for all of us to keep that connection that, you know, negative things might happen, but I think that's why satsang is special because we remember that ultimate goal, which is that we're here to remember to connect. So yeah, I mean, it's so sad that like someone with good intentions, bad things happen, but we've talked about this a lot where, there's karma involved and there's so many things involved, and in the world that chaos is kind of guaranteed. It's in the inner world where we want to create that peace.
So very important, I think, especially when we feel like everything around us is in chaos.
Mm-hmm.
It's vital.
Yeah, 100%. I think now more than ever, like, you turn on the news, something's going on. You look in your house, maybe something's going on. So it's staying grounded, staying in that connection no matter what. But yeah, thank you for sharing that.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, Dad, if you want to hop in.
Yeah, I don't know where to start on this one. I think your topic today and this both are, you know, things that, you know, they're like, there's so many questions in there that we need to resolve within. But what I was thinking about is again, and Parul, you tell me again and again, and a lot of people as well. I'm asked one question, I answer another, and I think it's my habit. But what happens is that um, if you look at the symptoms or what's on the surface, you will not find the solution. You have to go a few steps down and look at the root cause. And sometimes, in the spur of the moment, what we do versus when we analyze and think, where we get to is totally different. So, one of the concepts that I have been thinking about is, um, and this is again not tied to this situation, but should we tie ourselves to our jobs? Is that our identity? We could have a far bigger purpose in life, and we do most of the time. So, um, job is important. Guru Maharaj, in those olden days, he said, honest living is very, very, very important, and being integral. And I think what I just heard was, in this world, or even if you go in the past and you go way back in the past, uh, you know, it requires inner strength. It requires you to be yourself. It was never easy, and it won't be easy. So standing for your values, being integral, helping others, all these things, you know, I mean, I would just go out on a limb and say that's a minority. Um, and but those are the people we look up to as well. Um, but again, I think um, we are doing a job, but that doesn't define us. So there is a bigger purpose. There is a bigger, but again, I think the topic here is more about the culture, the environment, and how more integral people, good people, are not valued as much, um, uh, you know, by the quote unquote people in power. Um, and from that perspective, I have another thread that is running, which is more about um, not understanding hiring and firing. So in US, unlike many other countries, uh, each manager at whatever level they are have the hiring and firing capability, and firing is done in a very, what's the right word? I mean, there is no values attached to that in the sense of what will be the impact on the person, on the family, on their not just living, but their, um, you know, the mindset itself, psychological impacts, etc. I mean, is that the culture we want to promote and live in? But if you go to the American way of life has taken that as a given. Leaders are taught to be quote unquote, the numbers talk, etc. But what about, as I think what we were hearing, um, people with experience, with, uh, you know, the knowledge, um, you know, what's the loss, the real loss, and then what's the impact on the person. I don't know how much research is going into that, to say, this is not a healthy thing for the society, for the company, for the community. Um, I think collectively we are all responsible for, you know, I don't know. I think I've gone way out on the limb on that one.
I mean, I think it's unfortunate because when people do like the right thing, they tend to like have a target on their back, or like, that's why they're the minority. People just love the status quo. Like, why change that? So it sucks because we look up to these people, but then they also in turn might get fired, might get a target on their back, might have these things happen. So
And what I have observed is that, taking this so lightly, and because I was around the Wall Street in New York at some point in my career, and there is no thought put in that if they could balance things out so that it was just done as though, okay, I have budget, I'll hire, I don't have budget, I'll fire, without thinking of the overarching repercussions of something like that, you know. And we have TV shows for that as well. So yeah, I'm just saying that, you know, we have taken as a collective, we have taken this far more lightly, not taking into account every individual gets affected in so many ways, and then people around that individual, and you know, um, I think more work needs to be done in that space.
yeah, I mean, I think in different cultures, there's like different things that are the status quo that are just people just keep doing it, and then it just keeps happening. I think in American culture, we get very attached to the job, and then it becomes your identity, and then it just so happens that these organizations also might not value you how you think, even if you put in like 15, 20 years. One thing happens, and then it's like lack of empathy, and you're cut.
No, but in Japan, for example, I mean, I read that uh, earlier, few decades back, their culture was once you join a company, you're there for life, right? That was the other extreme where, um, companies go through ups and downs and they have to take some measures. And there were examples where companies would keep people on as much as they can. Um, but lately, uh, driven by capitalism, which U.S. is, leading, and so that culture has changed. Um, so, but again, I mean, culturally, different countries take things differently, of course. But I think my view is like taking this very, very lightly, so that no thought goes to effect on individual is a bad thing. Um, yeah. So I just wanted to share a couple of things today, if that's okay, and we can continue the discussion. And um, so thanks, Yuan. A uh, so so what I have been last couple of years, more so than before, based on this satsang workshop is the core. We started this, and this needs to grow. But what I had been thinking about is that how do we what were the things traditionally done in India by my grandfather and um, you know my other leaders in satsang, and how that um, what so the meditation we do, yes, prayers we have converted to music, but there were other things. I saw most of the leaders were in a lot of one-on-one conversations and guidance and all that. So I'm thinking that uh, coaching sessions of some sort. Again, that's one thing I've been thinking about. Um, so coaching and orientation, like the Tuesday sessions, I want to convert more into beginner oriented, um, put in more guided meditation in there, as well as so one thought process that's evolving is do some kind of high level assessment in terms of identifying the strengths and weaknesses, and pick up one or two things that somebody wants to change using meditation, and then uh, let the individual um, define what the those changes would be that they're targeting, and then helping them achieve that through mindfulness, meditation, and focus, and the practice, etc. um, and obviously support the workshop. So workshop continues, it's a good thing, but then I want to create this virtual home, or and we have talked about community, we have talked about service, we have talked about how satsang was always where people used to get opportunity, not just to meditate together, but help each other and help others. And so we have started some work in trying to help a school in India, etc. But more of that is like uh, everyone in my family had their doors open for people to come for meditation, for advice, for just to meet. Most of the time, just to meet was fine. So I want to create this online community, and then a newsletter, podcast, and YouTube channel. So YouTube channel we launched in 22, then we took a pause, but now I want to go back, you know, make that fully active. And so coaching, community, and course, those three things are actually ready to roll, and everybody here would become, completely, totally, you should be the volunteers who would help us carve this in the right manner. So for next 2, 3 months, it'll just be a beta program where we test drive it, get feedback, and make it useful for every one of us. So this 5-week course, I started working on this uh, in earnest for last 6 months. It has been like a lot of work has gone in there. So want to roll this out. Yeah. So week 1 will be just orientation. Week 2 will be the whole pyramid, understanding the journey, 5 steps, understanding inner yoga, what is Ashtanga yoga, and how satsang, um, you know, concept fits in there. Embodiment of transcendental energy. That's like the whole, this meditation is basically that. And then how satsang becomes a complete system where, um, all aspects of uh, a meditative life, a practice, and all that become core. Coaching. So this is another page on the website now. As you can see, it's still kind of in development, so feedback will be required, but next 3 months, I think I'll open this up for you. And if you see there's, this is the foundation course enrollment page. Um, and so, so coaching, community, and course. Those are the three things where eventually I want to charge some nominal amount, but for all of you, just make sure that it is done completely for free and you can, contribute to the nonprofit a little bit as you feel, okay. But basically, I am asking you to be the volunteers to evolve this to the next stage and help us test, improve, and make it viable for, you know, or make it a community which is guided through coaching and courses into, so that the idea is to build um, um, a meditative practice, an individual practice, a group and collective practice, and a community that comes together, not only helping each other in building a meditative lifestyle, but be together in service. All right, I'll pause here. Questions, comments, thoughts? And Parul, to you now.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how this goes. I think everyone should take advantage because obviously, like having personal time with you and trying out the course and seeing how it can be the next step in the spiritual journey. So, yeah. But also would just love to say hi to you guys and see if you have any feedback on anything. Everyone's like quiet today. But either way, Paula, good to see you. Mahima Auntie. Anita Auntie. Steve. Geeta Auntie. So good to see you guys. AC, always good to see you here. Ish, nice to see you. And Renu
Children's
the
first, Priyaji. Hi, Parul. Hi, everyone.
Hello. How are you?
Good, good. How are you?
Doing good.
It was a nice session today. How
Thank
are you, Bia?
Oh, good, good, very good. Yeah.
Nice, nice.
Namaskar, Bhai Saab. Thank you, Parul. Very nice session as usual. And I'm very excited to see how that endeavor comes through. A lot of effort is going in from your side, Bhai Saab.
Yeah.
And really excited about it.
Yeah, I just thought like, more guidance, more structured learning, and I think a place to, interact all together.
It's definitely looking forward. Very excited.
Awesome. Well,
I have a
thanks.
question actually. Is there going to be an in-person session again? Because I'd love to join you guys.
Oh yeah.
Yes, yes. It has been a very active thought process. So why don't I send an email out? Let's find a date, time, and place together. How's that?
Yes, that sounds wonderful.
Yeah, that'd be great. We can, figure something out together and get a group together. Steve, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Arvind Uncle, nice to see you. Yeah.
Thanks,
Punamanti.
Michael. Great session. Your words really resonate. I'll say I look forward to these sessions.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm so happy to see. I'm actually in awe.
Oh my
When you
God.
talk.
Oh my God, thank you. Thanks to Dad, right, Dad?
So what did you say?
Come on.
No, thank you. That means a lot. But obviously, I have a great mentor here, right, Dad?
No, it's all I think all a blessing. I feel like satsang as a concept, the more I think about it, the more I want to, hear that it's achieve a serious height and bring everybody together. I think that's the crux of it, right?
It's just amazing to watch her. That's all I'll say. And learn from her.
Thank you. Oh my God, thank you. That means a lot because Geeta Auntie is like our OG.
No. No. No, thank you.
No, thank you.
Really look forward to these sessions. Thank you.
Well, we love you. You know that. Oh, yeah. And thanks, Steve, for your comment. Yeah, so much going on. So even more important to be at least meditating, if not anything else.
So last week I was wondering how's Paula doing?
Oh, yeah. I wonder, maybe she's busy. Yeah, maybe she's busy.
All right then. So
Yeah.
yeah. So light, love, and peace be with you. We'll, as usual, look forward to being here.
Yeah. And
Pranam Bhaiya. Pranam everybody.
Hello.
Thank you for today. Thank you.
How are you?
I'm very well, Bhaiya.
Very good.
Yeah, it was good. I was in Manchester last. Was it last weekend? Yeah, when there was this
Yeah.
in-person satsang.
Yeah,
That
I
was a
wish.
fantastic experience.
Yeah, I wish I was there.
Yeah, that would have been cherry on the cake. But I felt, yeah, I mean, just like being in presence of like so many satsangis was itself such a bliss. And Aina also wants to say,
cute.
yeah,
Awesome.
thank you.
All right.
Please come to UK, Puja Bhaiya.
Mm-hmm.
Parul.
Yes.
Oh my God, we would love to come. We just haven't had the chance.
I think talking about retreats, there should be one in London or Manchester, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely. The more people can get connected, the better it is.
True.
Yeah, that would be so fun to be in UK.
Yeah, looking forward to it sometime soon. I don't know when that soon will be.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Clearly, the pull from this end is not strong enough. We're not pulling you.
No, I think it was strong enough. It just didn't happen by accident. Dad will be there soon.
Yeah, I will. All right.
Yeah.
And Luz and Anita ji, Arvind ji, Paula, Ajita, Ish, Mahima ji.
Pranam. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you guys for coming on
Deep,
this
Shivangi, Poonam ji,
one. Our host.
host. Yeah, always good. Good, good. Thank you. Love, light, and peace be with you. See you soon.
Yeah, thanks everyone for being here. And obviously, we're continuing Tuesday, and we'll see you next Saturday.
Thank you, everyone.